G'day Detailers Daily. Before we kick off today's episode, I'd like to make welcome Autofiber Australia, our new sponsor. So, as we all know, one thing when it comes to professional detailing, it's really important to use the right microfiber for the job, especially when it comes to ceramic coatings, glass cleaning, and etc. So, the guys at Autofiber Australia are offering an exclusive deal to all our Detailing Down Under podcast listeners. So, they're giving us 15% off on our first order. So head on over to autofiber.com.au and use the code 15DDUP. Also, if you are a business owner, you can also email Autofiber Australia. So that's sales@autofiber.com.au, and that'll get you 10% off, and you set up your trade account for that. So seriously amazing, good stuff, really. I've been using their applicators and scrub ninjas for a while now, even before this pod. So yeah, I really like the brand and what they offer. So, and I wouldn't support it if I didn't like it. So, head on over and see for yourself how good they really are and their products. So, so thanks again, Autofiber Australia, for coming on board, and hope you enjoys today's episode. Thanks.
Welcome to the Detailing Down Under podcast, the place for everything auto detailing in Australia right now. Here's your host, Dale Guthrie.
G'day and welcome to the Detailing Down Under podcast. I'm your host, Dale Guthrie. Back into it again, another week, another pod. So, yeah, hopefully been enjoying the last few ones, few weeks. So it's been pretty good, and yeah, we'll keep this show rolling as we usually do, week to week. This one, for those who listen to auto detailing pods all over the world, this guy pops up a fair bit on our good friends from the Detail Solutions podcast. So all the way from Tatura Victoria, Hussln Auto Detailing, we got Cam. How you going?
Howdy, everyone.
Yeah, he's I call him. I won't probably say what I said to him earlier, but he's a bit of a serial pest to the boys in America for Alex and Bruno. So yeah, it's good to have you on, mate.
Cheers for having me.
Yeah, we finally worked out a time, and so it's all good. So how's it up there in Victoria? Dried out yet?
It has at the moment, but it looks like we're about to get a fuckload more rain today and tomorrow. So
yeah, we're the same down here. It's literally gave a car back yesterday, and we talked for 5 minutes, and it rained on it. So it was like, oh well, that didn't last long. But it's terrible weather at the moment, so that could be worse.
that it could.
Yeah. So Tatura, that's only a little small town, yeah?
Yeah, about 5,000 people in town.
Oh, it's not too bad. Yep.
About 2,000 people come to town every day for work. There's a couple of big factories here in town. So,
All right.
and we're only 15 minutes from Shepparton, which is 50,000 people. So,
Yep. Yeah, I know Shepparton's quite big, but yeah, no, nice. So where'd you start with detailing? Have you always been based in there, or you start somewhere else?
I started detailing in 2010 back in Perth, actually, of all places.
It's a good place, actually.
Expensive but nice.
Yes, it is.
I moved there. When I moved there, I was managing supermarkets for Woolworths. So that's my my other background in work is management.
Yep.
And when I transferred over there, they ended up saying, "Oh, we don't actually have a job for you over here." So I needed to find a job. I'd always been interested in detailing, and one of my wife's friends was at a dealership, and they needed a worker, and I went, "Fuck it, it's work." Did that for 6 months, and about 3 months in, started hustling as cashies on a weekend, and then I went back to Woolworths for another 2 years. They approached me to come back. So I still kept detailing on the side, and then we're about 3.5 years into the whole journey, and it became serious.
Yeah, wow. Were you working from home or
I was
mobile?
mobile,
Oh,
which
yep.
I do not miss.
Yeah. we hear about that a lot. So,
About 6 months before I moved back to Victoria, I got a workshop with a friend who was a window tinner, so we could work together.
yep.
And then we were just sick of Perth and wanted the country life again. So, and I'm originally from Shepparton, so we're like, let's move there.
Yep. The car industry is pretty big in Shepparton around that way, isn't it?
It is huge. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Like, there's 3 elite hot rod shops in town. There's another one that's just over an hour down the road as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty and where the shop that you're in now, how long you been there?
I moved in at the start of last year into this shop. So previously I was sharing a shop with a mechanic friend. So he had the front, I had a bit out the back, and it just grew and I needed my own space. So I jumped on this building. It's on the busiest intersection in town. It's on a main roundabout with heaps of street frontage. So
Yeah, I think it's quite different actually because it's not a normal sort of warehouse shop that we see. It's actually an old servo, isn't it?
yes, it is.
Yeah.
And it was a tractor dealership at one point about 40 years ago too.
Oh, true. Yeah, I think it's quite cool with you got that roof still out the front. Like I just see in some of your photos that you have your car shows at and stuff like that. Looks pretty cool.
The awnings out the front, it's cool. We have a coffee van out the front every morning too, so that brings a few more people through the door.
Oh yeah. No, nice. What do you mainly do there? What's your bread and butter every day there?
Chops and changes each week. It seems to be I'll have a week of corrections, I'll have a week of just details, then I'll have 2-3 weeks of coatings, and then it just seems to chop and change.
Yep. You're right. What's your I see you're in Modesta. So have you always been Modesta or did you try other stuff before?
I tried other stuff. So the first ever paint protection I used was Modesta back in Perth with the old distributor.
Yep.
Not long before I moved to Victoria, he lost it. Personally, I think he should have lost it earlier, but that he fed me a bunch of stuff of why he lost it. I've years later found out that was all wrong.
Yep.
So I followed him and went to start using 22 PLE. I've also used, not as approved, but I've done G Technique, Guyon, their like stuff through car care products. I've tried Angel Wax, and about I think it was 4 years ago I went back to Modesta.
Yep. I know you're good friends with Cam, the distributor for Modesta. So
With Watson, he's about 2.5 hours up the road. So
yep. Well, at least we got some Modesta guy on. He's a struggle getting him on.
The man is flat out.
He is. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens in a few weeks, I guess. But yeah, no, he's always busy, and we talk a bit as well. So, which is good. So how your coatings go over there? Have you got like a sort of, is your shop set up in like a certain area for it, or is it?
I've got a corner for it, so that's where my hoist is. All the extra lights, I can do that in a corner, and I've got an aircon on wheels so that if it's going to be hot, I can plug it up. Next year, I'll be building a coating room.
Yep.
But at the moment, you just make do with it. It just might mean you come in at 5 a.m. to coat if it's going to be a 40-degree day.
Because it gets hot up that way too, doesn't it?
Yes, and a nice dry heat, probably similar to Gambia.
Yeah, it is. When it's hot, it's hot. It's not.
Yeah.
Nothing. Perth was different. I know WA weather's a bit different, but over here when it's hot, she's hot. So
yeah.
No, nice. Hey, back when you're starting your first business, or when you first started out, what were your challenges day in, day out back then?
Just creating a name for yourself and then upholding that name and reputation. So, I mean, Perth has beautiful weather most of the year. Like, they'll have 3.5 weeks of just sunshine, and then they'll have 2-3 days at the end of the month where it rains. So you never really had the weather challenges. But because there's so much money from mines over there, so many people pop up detailing. So it was establishing a name, reputation, and then just growing on that.
Yep. Yeah, right. No, nice. So services, so you obviously certified with Modesta, use a lot of Enzo by the looks of that as well.
Yep, love Enzo. Love it all.
Yeah. It's like them, I think they've got a combination together with Modesta and Enzo together. They
Sister companies, so they're without being the same company.
Yep.
But same philosophies. I may be wrong on that. Watson may pull me up on that, but they're effectively sister companies, same owners.
Yep. No, not bad. You got many challenges day to day? How's the word of mouth out there with you?
Word of mouth is great. That's probably the majority of my work.
Yep.
Is word of mouth referrals or people seeing Facebook posts and going, "Oh, you did so and so's car." Challenges, well, at the moment, the flooding.
Yeah. That's right.
That's hurt. Just a lot of people just either can't get their car done or they're helping a friend who's been flooded, so they don't want it done. And because we've had so much rain, a lot of people still, and I don't think it'll ever change, don't want to get their cars done when it's raining.
Yep.
So if you have 4 weeks of rain,
Yeah, right. A lot of hot rods up there too, so which is good.
yeah, lots of hot rods, street machines, fair few low riders too.
I noticed that on your page there. Is that a big scene?
Around here, not so much. As a group of boys that
Yep.
are into it, but in general, in Victoria, is a pretty good low rider scene.
Yep. All right. So you're a one-man band, so no other employees other than yourself, really. So
Just me. My parents come in and help out with the bookwork.
yeah.
Not every morning, but most mornings. They're retired, so they come in for 3-4 hours in the morning, answer phones, take bookings, payments, and that just gives me the morning uninterrupted.
Yep.
And then they can go about their day and do whatever they want.
Is it that? Do you reckon you ever get more workers up there with you, or are you happy being on your own?
I'm happy on my own. I've tried workers back in Perth, and you just end up chasing your tail.
Yep. Create more work for yourself. So yeah, we hear putting on employees and stuff is hard, and managing that as well. So yeah,
Finding someone who will work to your same level and same care that doesn't want to start their own business.
Yeah.
I mean, I've helped out a bunch of guys and then they've gone and started their own business, or you give them pointers because they're starting up and then they start messaging your clients going, "Oh, I'm started now. Because I've started, I'm cheaper than Cam, so fuck him, come across to me."
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, we hear that a lot. So what's have you thought of getting into PPF? Not saying that PPF's awesome, but most guys these days have a little bit of it.
I'm definitely interested, and that should be something happening next year.
Oh yeah. Many others up there doing that?
Not really. A couple of the sign riders offer, I don't know what brand they use, but they do it. And then there's a window tinting guy around the corner who does like bumpers and under the handles, but he doesn't do full cars. So
yep. Oh wow.
There's definitely a market for it. So
yeah. No, not everyone. It's not everyone's piece of cake really trying to get into PPF, but yeah, I always ask that one for people that don't do it or looking to do it. So
it's not something that I look forward to the head fuck of doing it.
Yeah, it is.
But business wise, it's the right call moving forward. I mean, if I was in a capital city and there's 20 other blokes doing it, just sub it out to them.
Yep.
But up here, it's like, well, you get in first, do it first. If others start doing it, well, you already had your leg in the door.
Yep. Yeah, that's my theory down here where I'm at. Literally hardly anyone's doing it, or no one knows it's doing it, and the word's slowly getting out of what I do as well. So it doesn't take long. That word of mouth's pretty big. What's the culture up there like in your little town? I wouldn't say it's little, but
Well, compared to most places, it is. Compared to where
Yeah.
I live, it's not.
yeah,
Where I live's 10 minutes down the road, and it's 500 people, and I absolutely love it
yeah,
because it's nice and quiet. There, it reminds me of my childhood. Like my daughter can just go play in the front yard. It doesn't matter. She can say, "Oh, I'm going 3 doors up to so and so to see if they're home to play." Yep, go for it. You're not worrying.
yep,
But culture up here is pretty good. Like I'm not afraid to throw other people work if I can't do the job or if I'm not interested in it. I'm happy to say, "Oh, look, I've seen this guy. Go see him. Tell him I sent you." I'm happy to do that. There's a couple of guys, or not so much up this way, but they're all over the country anyway, that are just too ego driven. So they cause some shit, but that's their own inadequacies they're focusing on there. So
yeah. No, we hear bits and pieces about that. So no, nice. What else are we up to? What could we improve in the industry, you reckon?
regulations, I still think we should have certification like proper, like a panel beater, a mechanic,
Yep.
to weed out all the fuckwits and
Yep.
and just there's too much ego in detailing.
Yep.
I understand we're appealing to people's egos to get them to book in because detailing's not a necessity like getting your car serviced, new tires. It's about appealing to that person's ego that they want a shiny car when they're driving downtown or they pull up at their friend's house but then when it translates to the business operator having an ego, it ruins it for everyone.
Yeah. I always wondered if it was just our industry or is it. I always ask that one about.
There's cowboys in every industry,
Yeah.
but it just seems to be in detailing. Someone gets 5,000 likes on Facebook or Instagram, they suddenly think they're the next big dick in the room, and really they don't even know how to wipe their own ass yet, but they walk around. It's just,
Look at me.
yeah, it's a bit of peacocking, and it's like, it's okay to go, hey, look, we won this award or we did this car and it was featured, but to constantly put yourself above like everyone else, like the joys of Modesta and traveling to SEMA and that, I've met some of the big wigs in the States and they don't talk with an ego.
Yep.
Whereas it seems to be in Australia, just, oh, look, I did this car for the front cover of Street Machine. Well, what do you fucking do? Like, good for you that you did a car, but show cars, like if you only do brand new cars, show cars, you're not a detailer, you're a car washer because you don't know how to get 200,000 Ks worth of mud out of an interior.
Like disaster details, yeah.
Yeah, but because they've got 10,000 Instagram likes and everyone tells them how good they are, they think they are.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, nice. What else? When did you go to SEMA?
3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm loving my Facebook memories at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on this week. So, yeah, you have thoughts of going back anytime soon?
Not next year, hopefully maybe the year after.
Yep.
I've already got a trip for next year, so.
Yep.
But SEMA is great. It's just good to network, like, because our industry in Australia, we're so far behind the rest of the world. We're not even a speck on the arsehole of the industry. Like that, you talk to the big companies, they don't give a shit about us. They don't product test down here. Like,
Yep.
if anyone says their products were specifically designed for Australian conditions, they're full of shit. They do Europe, America, Asia, South America, Middle East. And where our weather's kind of a combination of everything, depending on where you are.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like they might have someone down here who uses that product, and they go, "Hey Dale, if we send you this new compound or whatever, can you try this out?" But they're not saying we need you to help develop it for the Australian conditions.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you do hear that, made for Australian conditions. I'm like,
Also, the other one's made in Australia.
Yeah. There's a bit going on about that. I'm trying to get someone on that has just brought out a new product. So, was working on that one, and I had a chat to him the other day, and that was a very interesting conversation, and his thoughts on the made in Australia word. So,
a lot of them we all get the emails saying, "Oh, I've got this product that's just started up," and the standard response is it made in Korea or China? Which factory? Oh, no, it's made in Australia. No, it ain't. It might be developed. Like, you might have a chemistry background and you fiddle around yourself. There's no factories in Australia that make car care products.
Yeah. I know Big Boy is one, but I think they admit that it's designed here or whatever, but it's not built here. It's from China. So
Big Boy you can allow because they're blower vacs, vacuums, stuff like that. But like places that make the chemicals.
Yeah.
Big famous Aussie one that promotes made in Australia is like, no, you're Australian owned and operated and developed, but you're not made here.
No. I think I know what you're on about for that one.
They may be a potential guest for you in the future, so I don't want to burn that one down.
Nah. I might have already reached out to them. So how'd you come across the boys on our Detail Solutions podcast?
They had my friend John Purdue on.
Oh, that's right.
And I saw that John was on there, so I listened to that, and then I went back and went, oh, they've had quite a few of the Modesta boys. So went through and went, oh, they've had Scotty Perkins coming up on, I think, nearly 30 years in business in Canada.
Yep.
So they had him on, and then a few of the others, and then start listening, and then a couple more, and then they had Watson on, and they were talking to him and said, oh, do you know any other Australians? He said, yeah, there's another guy called Cam just down the road. He'll come on. He loves a chat.
Yep. No, you're quite the celebrity on there.
Oh, don't worry. The boys give me shit about it all the time.
Yeah. And everyone in Australia is called Cam. So, yeah, that's where I come across Watson as well. So that's, how I got in touch with him, and I'm like, oh, yeah, no. They've had a few, and even Matty Gibb was on there as well. So, yeah, we get around a bit, Australian, so it's good.
And they've got a couple more teed up that I don't know when they're going to record with them, but there's a couple more Aussies that'll be on there. So
that's good. Yeah, more the better. Because I think our industry I think we do pretty good work over here, and I think they are catching on that what we do is good. And so I think, that's sort of the reason behind this thing, to get everyone out and about, having a chat about what they do. So that was sort of my idea for it.
The industry is good. We're just behind the rest of the world, but not just detailing. We're like that. Politics, we're 6 months behind the rest of the world on decisions, and just the part of being so isolated.
Yep. No, we are not. Yeah, in a lot of things. So, all right, we'll get into our 6-stage questions. What was your first detailing job? My
first paid detailing job was a 1978 Toyota Crown for my wife's grandma. One owner. Thing was immaculate. That was my first proper paid job. I'd done a couple of ones for my in-laws and stuff like that, but my first paid job as Hussln was, a 78 Crown.
Nice. What colour?
Like a baby blue.
Oh, yeah. I thought
with like a dog shit brown interior.
I was just going to say dog shit brown exterior, but yeah. Polisher. What do you use up there?
Roops on everything.
Yep.
I've had Bigfoot since the Mark 1 came out, and apart from like replacing bushes, my Mark 1 got me till 2 years ago, so I got like 8 years out of that before it finally shit itself.
Yeah, we hear about roops all the time, breaking down. Mine's been pretty good. I haven't I've done a speed control and that's it. So
I think
fine.
that's what's happened in my Mark 1, but my Mark 2 hasn't. No, sorry, my Mark 3 hasn't missed a beat since I got it. I've got the Duetto, the Mini. I did have an hybrid, but I think they're a piece of shit. So that's sitting broken in the corner.
Yeah, I got one, but I think I might be upgrading that one. So
I used it probably 4 times in 12 months, and then the bushes shit themselves completely. It wouldn't work at all.
Oh.
And then the supplier wouldn't do it under warranty because he goes, "Oh, it's a week past 12 months." And I went, "Yeah, but I've used it 4 times." And he goes, "Oh, I don't care."
Yeah, that's a bit rough.
But that supplier, that's expected from him.
Yep. What are your thoughts on the new 75, the weird looking design one? Have you seen that one?
I think it'll be good, but I need to get it in my hands. That was an upside of SEMA, is you could grab the puff and spend 30 seconds even just holding it and feeling the ergonomics and go, this will work, before you fork out all that money.
Yep. Oh, back to SEMA. Have you heard of anything that's going to come out from any companies, you reckon? Anyone's going to drop any surprises?
I've heard all the rumours, but I don't know if
they're true or not. Yeah. No, it's interesting. It'll be interesting week, I reckon. This one be a good one. Ceramic or PPF?
They both have their places. Ceramic's my choice. Even once I get PPF, ceramic will still be my favourite.
Yep. Is Modesta, because you hear stories of Modesta's, the process of, I've seen it only on YouTube, how they install it. Is it much of a weird process, or is it fairly straightforward?
Fairly straightforward. It's it can be a prick.
Yep.
To install, but it's the longevity of it and the toughness of it make up for it. But it's the same as anything. Once you've done 3 or 4 or 5 installs, then you've got your niche, like
down pat.
Okay, I'm going to leave it for this long, and you learn. Like, I could do an install now with my eyes closed.
Yep. Knowing
temperatures, humidities, how long to let it flash. Like, this time of year is not too bad. Like, you can leave it, 3 to 4 minutes. Middle of summer, you might do half a front garden. You've got to, depending on how hot and humid it is.
Yep.
But I mean, if you've never done a wet application on a coating, it's weird the first time. But after that, and it makes sense.
Yep.
If you used to just put it on the applicator, put it on, let it flash, wipe it off. Well, they've got coatings that do that, but then they've got a couple that are wet application too.
Yep. Yeah, I remember I seen it done. I'm like, yeah, that's a bit different, but it obviously works, and that's how it does.
The first time you see it, you're like, what in the fuck have I got myself into?
Because you're misting water down first, yeah?
Yeah, mist distilled water down, apply it, let it flash off, and then you've got a bucket of distilled water that you put a cloth into, wring it out, wipe it, and then use your dry cloth to finish it off.
It's interesting.
It is handy if you happen to leave it to flash too long. Like, we've all had that happen. Like, you've just finished a garden, you're like, yep, set my timer for 3 minutes, and the missus rings, and you're like, fuck, I'll answer that, and then something happens, or you go to the toilet to take a piss, going, "Oh, yeah, I'll be back in 3 minutes," and then suddenly it's a surprise shit, and you come back and you're like, "Fuck, it's been on there for 9 minutes." So the wet application helps because you can put that on and it help get it off.
Yep. Yeah, right. What's your favorite detailing tool or product?
Modesta CO2 polishing compound.
Yep.
Best compound in the world, hands down, no competition.
Is that have to be with the Modesta pad? Haven't they got?
No, you can use like
Yep.
a lot of the overseas guys don't use the Modesta pads.
Yep.
A lot of them still use your like country and stuff like that.
Yep.
I use the Modesta pads, but like a heavily swirled car that looks like it's been washed with a Brillo pad, you can cut and finish that with the one product. You might have to do a couple of passes, but you can refine that down amazing without having to use 3 different grades. And I mean, over the years, I've used Menzerna, Juice, Angel Wax, even the Guyon compounds, Shine Supply, like all them, and they all got thrown out.
Mm-hmm. Is it a good one step, or you?
Yeah, you can just do if you're doing a quick little one step with it, you can.
Yep.
Or if you're doing a full correction, same thing.
Is that certified only sort of polish?
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything in Modesta is certified only, except for we have a couple of maintenance products. So if you get your car coated, there's like a spray detailer, a water spot remover, a conditioner. So then the customer can
Purchase them.
Yeah, the customer can purchase them, but the compounds and everything else are all certified.
Yep. Oh, nice. Biggest tip for anyone starting out a shop these days, or in detailing altogether, really, I guess.
This could be for, I thought about this one. This could be for any industry. Find someone where you want to be and ask them to mentor you. Yep. And if they say jump, you say how high. Because, and like I've got a couple of different mentors, like Watson's a huge mentor in detailing for me. And then I've got other guys who run plaster companies that have huge turnovers, others that are in earth move, like different industries, so that you can bounce, and like they might market differently and you hear it and go, shit, that'll work really well for us. But specifically in detailing, find someone who's where you want to be. So if they've got a shop with 6 employees and that's what you want, follow. But do your research on them, because they've been doing it for 5 years, 10,000 Instagram followers, and you ask around and everyone in the industry is like, no, he's a complete fuckwit, don't go anywhere near him. Well, you don't want him as a mentor.
No.
And you need to research them, find out what they've done. It's just, yes, so many people offer up help, and it's like, you wouldn't know your ass from last Tuesday. Like, and you're trying to help this young kid who's naive. Or if they're like, oh, come to our place, it's $900 for a 2-day training. You'll be YouTube certified to detail. I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, there's a bit of common sense in that, but in society at the moment, it seems that's lacking.
Yep.
But yeah, find someone who's doing what you want to do. I'd say they've had at least 12 plus years of actual in business, because then they've had a couple of ups and downs, and
yep. Yeah, they've done it tough for a bit.
And especially guys who've been doing it for a bit longer now. If you get guys who started in the early 2000s, they've been through the GFC, they've been through droughts, they've been through floods, bushfire. So they know, oh yeah, well, look, when there's a flood in the area, work's going to be tight for a month. Then it'll come good, or, you know.
No, that's a good one. Something different. So, Any interests outside of detailing?
Music, huge music. I can't play for shit, but I just love music. And anyone who's been around me, I love singing. I'm tone deaf when it comes to singing, but I just put the headphones on, sing away. I don't particularly care.
You're pretty good
I
after a few beers, or you get worse?
I think I get better, but you'd probably tell me I get worse. Most sports, footy, and like I watch, love my AFL. I grew up in New South Wales as a kid, so I love my rugby league, love my American footy, soccer. I'm not a huge fan, but I can watch it. Cricket, motor racing. I think most people my age, early 30s, we grew up watching a lot of wrestling.
Yep.
As a kid, so every now and then you'll see like a highlights package of like Stone Cold Steve Austin's best matches. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Reminisce a little bit. And I like always being busy. I can't sit still. So I do a lot of stuff community based wise, or like at the local footy club or whatever. So I really enjoy that. It means I'm not home much, but
Yep. No, nice. I can relate to that. What music you into?
if I had to pick one band for the rest of my life, it'd be Slipknot. But it goes anywhere from Ice Cube to Dolly Parton, ZZ Top. I love, obviously, because of the beard.
Yeah.
Bit of everything. Like metal's my go-to. But yeah, my work playlist, I think's got like 170 hours of stuff, and it just goes from
Or random.
yeah, and then stuff that like when we were younger, like Venga Boys and Backstreet Boys, Aqua, all that sort of stuff, just to go, oh fuck, I remember that as being really popular. And then suddenly you go to a death metal song, and then you go to a jazz song, then a 1960s country western, bit of everything.
Yep. You listen to many podcasts every day, or is it just music?
Whenever I'm doing interiors or polishings, a podcast. If I'm just like washing the car or doing windows, wheels sort of thing, the music's on. But there's probably 5 that I listen to like whenever they come out.
Yep.
And then about 6 or 7 others that are good, but depends on the guest.
Yeah.
So like I listen to you every week. Obviously Alex and Jason, Andy Frizella at Real AF. I think a lot of people listen to Andy.
Yep.
Oil and Whiskey, the boys from the Roadster Shop. I don't listen to my wife's one very often, and she always gives me shit for it, but I listen to her talk nursing at home, so I don't really need to listen to that at work.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I have like flashbacks because I'm at work and I could just hear her voice constantly.
No, nice. Oh, we'd be pretty excited that Slipknot's coming to Australia next year. So
Yes, I think I'm sadly going to miss that for a trip, but I've seen them 6 times, so
yeah, I'm trying to get there.
it's a hell of the best show you'll ever go to.
Yeah, I've seen him once, I think so. But yeah,
I've seen them with 100,000 people, and I've seen them with 15.
Yep.
And they're like, you still feel, you've seen them one, you feel like you're the only person in the room. Like Corey has your attention the whole way, and if for whatever reason like the vibe of the show's not good, he can pick it up.
Yep.
Whereas I've been to other shows and I'm just like, you don't have the crowd tonight, buddy. Like you're a good lead singer or guitarist, but you don't have the crowd. And Corey's my man crush. Like,
yeah. No, I love live music myself, so yeah, it's pretty good. I was pretty stoked when
it's a good outlet.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I try and catch a lot as I can. But yeah. All right. Well, anything else on your mind there, Cam, or we're all ready to wrap up?
Oh, I could go on for hours ranting. It's a Monday morning, so I'm actually in a pretty good mood. I'm not.
Oh, that's all right then.
I'm not all wound up to be able to upset people. I mean, there's a few people I'd like to call out, but it just it won't do anything to me.
Yep.
It'll save a bunch of young up and coming people believing their bullshit and their lies. But then I look like the bad person for calling them out on their shit. So I'm in a good mood this morning, so I don't need to. I haven't been angered for the week.
Oh, lucky we done
There's
on a
always
Monday, not a Friday.
You've seen the memes I send. Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's got to be brutal.
And that's probably one thing with up and comers. There's not a lot of real training in this country either.
No, so if
lack of.
they, I think they're trying to get Jason Rose out again next year. Like, if you're new to polishing, go to something like that. But if you go to do a training and it's learn how to detail, but you have to use our products, they're just snake oil salesmen.
Yeah.
And I could name one in every state who sell products that are like that.
Yep.
And that's the joys of been doing it for coming on 13 years is I've seen a lot in the scene, and I've seen suppliers when they want you to use their product and they buy you lunch and send you give you all this stuff to try, and then you try it and you're just like, look, it's not for me. It may be a great product for someone else, but it doesn't do what I want it to do. And then you never hear boo from them again. But then you run into them at a car show and someone's like, oh, how come you were talking to them? I'm like, well, I still know him. Oh, well, he was just talking shit about you. And I'm like, oh, okay.
It's a small world, isn't it?
It is. And I think it's from growing up in the country. I know that word of mouth and a lot of these things. I think, what was the one I posted the other day? If you're a detailer that sells graphene coatings, you don't have my respect.
Yeah, I've seen something like that.
It's a marketing gimmick.
Yeah.
And I had someone who's just started up a product email me to say these are our products, and I do due diligence, and you want me to try your product. Okay, well, I'll go and look in at your material, like your MSDS sheets and everything, and look at who develops it, where's it made, how long have you been in business, look into it, what are you offering, what are you claiming from it, and then you're looking at, oh yeah, it's graphene will last 10 years and it's 10H, and I'm like, you're full of shit and not interested.
Yeah.
There's a few of them.
Yeah. No, we're hearing graphene a fair bit these days, so I know it's
and you can tell the guys who are legitimate product manufacturers when you say to them, for how you claim graphene goes into the product, it can't chemically work. Like, there is no way that it works. And they go, oh yeah, it does, our scientists. And you're just reading a brochure, you're full of shit. Like, I'm no chemist, but you do enough research and you look into it, you can go, marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube about how, the background of it all, and does it work?
It's a great idea.
Yep.
But for how they claim in the industry it works.
Yeah.
No, and it's the same with, you then see them too going, I guess I am going off on a bit of a rant here.
No, you're right. I probably started it.
You see them claim, oh, it's 10 years warranty, lifetime this. And then, as you said, there's not a lot of training. And if I see a guy who reaches out to me, oh, would you, want to teach me interiors or something? And you look at them, and they've used 4 different coatings in 4 different years. I'm like, I'm wasting my time here because.
Yep.
And, well, we've seen it a lot in the industry at the moment with the backlog of new cars. A lot of guys are shutting up shop because they throw a shitty coating on that they claim will last 5 years, knowing the customer will set in 3 years, but in 18 months it's gone. And they're like, oh, well, there's plenty of people in town, I'll do it. But if they only do new cars, well, they're like, oh, I've got no work coming in.
Yeah.
Well, if you learned how to detail.
And obviously the word of mouth's terrible, and they're not coming back. So,
and there's a few guys that I've seen, they only do show cars, nice cars. And then you start seeing they're posting less cars, less. I call them mum and dad cars, your everyday cars.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they've branched out to, oh, we're doing boats now. And then 12 months later, you see less boats. It's like all your customers are realizing your product's shit and your shit.
Yeah.
So then you've got to move to a new clientele because it's just...
It's an interesting industry, isn't it?
It is. And you can pick the guys who haven't been overseas.
Yep.
Like
I haven't either.
Yeah, but you don't go around claiming you do.
No.
Like you hear a lot of guys, oh yeah, well, I did this. I'm like, oh yeah, so who'd you meet there? Oh, like, I mean, SEMA is great. It's a big wank fest to be able to just walk around and do it. But a lot of the boys say it's just a great excuse to catch up.
Yeah.
Especially, you get people from all around the world. So when are you going to see them again?
Yeah, especially this year, I suppose it's probably going to be every year. But yeah, some of the, like I listened to Rennie Doyle and they're having a big detailing party during the week of SEMA, and I'm like, it's like over 500 people going. It's like, imagine hanging out there. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, well, and it was like when I was there on the Wednesday night, Modesta America have a yearly conference. Yeah, like a dinner and then Top Golf. And
yep,
we'd said, oh, look, I was coming over for there, and Watson was coming too. I was there for a month with a couple of boys, and then Watson turned up for SEMA, and so did Ryan out of Perth. So we got the 3 Aussie guys there with, I think, 30 American installers, plus then a couple from Europe and a couple from Asia, and then one of the co-owners, Tomo's there, so catch up with everyone. And yeah, like you didn't really talk detailing, you just kind of talk shit, made a friendship with them. But then those friendships help because usually they've had a product for 6 months before us.
Yep.
So you start using it and you're like, oh, this is what's happening with that. So you can message them and go, hey, when you use this, did this happen? What'd you do? Oh, yeah, you do this, or And you can see it in the local guys. They talk a big game, and I'm like, I went through the stage where I love doing show cars, and oh look, I did this. I got past that because I realised show cars and stuff doesn't pay the bills.
Nah.
And a lot of I'm good friends with a lot of the burnout boys, but a lot of them will only use you if you're free.
Yeah. Chuck a sticker on.
Yeah. You can chuck a sticker on, you can promote, we'll share your stuff and say that you did the car, but we're not charging, we're not paying for it. And when you first starting out, yeah, you do a couple of them because they get attention. But then you see, and it's a guy that I've done work. Like when I was in Perth for Good Friday every year, a truckload of cars had come across. And I knew the boys, so it was a good chance to catch up with them. I said, look, I'll give your car a quick, wash, and just to get all the road grind from the truck trip off. And then when I moved back, they're like, yeah, we'll do your car. And they become paying customers. And then you see someone go, oh, I'm doing this car for Summernats. And you message him and go, stirring him because I'm going, oh, Dale, you're cheating on me, are you? You're going, And then they message me and go, oh, yeah, I'm only going to him because he's going to do a $1,000 job for nothing for the exposure. And I'm like,
that's why.
I mean, you do a car, it makes it in a magazine, share it and go, most of the stuff I share now is because they're friends. Like Jazzy with the mini truck that was in there. She's a friend more than she's a customer.
Yep.
So of course, when she's in there, I'm happy to support my friend, but I'm not. It was more about to say, this is my friend. She's in there, support her. She's doing great things, as opposed to going, "Ooh, I did a car."
Nah, it is nice to do some good cars and break it up, but
it's nice to do not have to do a farm ute every time or. But just so much ego. It's just And some of the biggest guys in the industry have no ego.
Yep.
Like they go, yeah, I do great work, and I appreciate all the feedback and people going, man, that was great. He goes, I'm just a guy detailing cars.
Yeah.
Some of them are like, oh, look at me, I've got this.
No, it's true. So
Should get a few of the US boys on, do the other way. So the Aussie boys going on the US podcast, get a couple of the US boys on here.
yeah, I have thought of it, and there is one that should pop up by the end of the year, hopefully, if not early next year. So one is, but yeah, I do want to get some more internationals once I get going here a little bit, but we're only in the early stages of this. So
And Alex and Bruno will come on.
oh yeah,
I'll tell. Don't give them a choice. I'll tell you now they're going on.
yeah. You'd probably have to come on as well to
I could be a guest host and abuse the living shit out of him.
talk spiders to him.
Oh, he doesn't open the group chat. Like
Yeah, I heard that.
I send it and he's like he'll look at it, and if he thinks there's a spider, he's not watching it. And sometimes I'm sending something completely funny, and he's like, nope, not even, nope.
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know what we're on about, the Detail Solutions podcast. So, boys from the States. So
Bruno, the ex-army sniper who is petrified of spiders.
Yeah. So, they are pretty entertaining. I think they do 2 pods a week, so they're pumping it. So
yeah, 2's a bit.
Yeah,
2's a lot of commitment.
Yeah, I know one's hard enough. So trying to do 2, I'm like far out. It's a bit. So
yeah,
but they mix it up and they do all sorts. So it's pretty good.
I think for the Australian audience to hear a different point of view from other places like Europe or the States or something, just obviously you focus on Australian content, but someone who's decent in America who's got a little bit of a following, or someone in England who's someone like Jim White.
Yep.
Like they've been around that long, and
yeah, I've got me bucket list of guests. So yeah, one's popped up out of nowhere, which so that's happening.
They're the best ones. And then if you happen to talk to a few more people, you never know who knows someone.
That's right.
And says, oh yeah, like I've known him for 10 years. Yeah, I'll do the groundwork for you. I'll talk to him and go, you should go on here, do this, and it never hurts to reach out and say, do you want to come on? And
yeah,
what's the worst that happens? They say no.
Yeah, I get some no's or I just don't get a reply. So that's in our own country, let alone over there. But no, I do want to work on the international side. So I thought we'll get it going here, and then, but yeah, so always looking for other guests as well. So no harm on coming on. I don't think I try not to keep it too serious, but
you can't have it too serious, otherwise then you narrow down your market. And a lot of people, like a lot of us, are listening as we're working, so we don't want something. Like I struggle to listen to a Joe Rogan one while I'm doing an interior.
Yep.
Because you've got to focus too much on it, whereas some of the other stuff you're taking in what they're saying, but you're not having to listen.
Yeah. No, you can still work with it.
Sometimes you hear what people say and you go, you are full of shit. Then you're like, man, it is what it is.
Yeah. So, we might wrap it up and go and do some work, I guess. So for a Monday.
Go and start off. I've got a nice 51 Ford business coupe to do today. So
nice.
I've never done one. I've never done a 51. So I was like, ooh. Wow. And then tomorrow's just a Colorado, man.
Well, I got a Harley in the shop, so out there to play around with today. So, but yeah. All right. How can anyone reach out to you, Cam? Anyone?
On Facebook, we're just Hussln Auto Detailing. On Instagram, Hussln_Auto Detailing. Shoot me a message. I'm always up for a chat. If you're good, then I'll give you my mobile number, even though it's my work number. I suck at returning texts, so it's easy to contact on socials. And if I take 8 hours to respond, don't be offended. But I'm always up for a chat. If you see me at an event, come up and chat and ask.
He's not that
I'm always
scary.
happy to point out, and no, I may look it, but unless I'm on a rant, then I can.
Well, you had 10 beers and you're singing.
Yeah. I think nothing wrong with a karaoke bar.
So, all right then, we'll wrap it up. So, thanks, Cam, for your time. I appreciate it. We worked it out eventually, so squeezed it in. So, yeah. So, all right, we'll wrap it up and we'll chat again next week. So, thanks, Cam.
See ya.
Yeah.
That was another episode of the Detailing Down Under podcast. Subscribe now for everything auto detailing in Australia.